Testing the external speaker. How do we sound to you folks out there? Can you hear us okay? Good. All right. Got thumbs up all the way to the wall.
All the way to the wall. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Testing. Good. Right. Everybody good?
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you.
All right.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It's the Newcastle Racers Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're here at Luigi's Italian Restaurant in Newcastle, Oklahoma. We're glad you're joining us. We have several here dining and enjoying the show here in person. But for all of you who've tuned in to us tonight, we say welcome to the show. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show. It's going to be a great one. There's still time to come in. If you're nearby, feel free to drive on in. My name is Gene Reed, and this is my partner, my sidekick, and now famous Mr. KC, Keith Cleghorn. Keith, and we've got a great lineup today. Also, our producer, we want to say thanks to Mr. Uriah Martinez, producing for us, flipping all those switches and sliding the volumes over there, so we make a good show. Listen, we're glad you're here. We've got a lineup. Like I said, we've got a good lineup tonight. We have two of our assistant coaches. Our assistant our offensive coordinator, Coach Tyler Engelking, is here. Also, Matt Truelove. Coach Matt Truelove has our linebackers, plus a lot of other stuff we know. We're going to have them. Our MVP for last Friday night's game, Mr. Taylor Bradford, is here. He'll be joining us here in a little bit. And also, we're going to have a featured guest. Each week, our final segment, we have a featured guest. Last week, it was our high school principal, Mr. Adam Hall. And tonight is our place kicker, and kicker of all sorts, Mr. Brian Madrano. So,
Gene, you know, I get excited about football, but that kid is talented. If he can kick it out of the back of the end zone every time, we are got a huge advantage.
He is exciting. So we'll be talking a little bit about the game that last Friday night and our upcoming game tomorrow with Duncan. But first, we wanted to take a moment during this first segment, kind of a tip of the hat, if you will, to those other racer athletic programs that are playing this fall.
Got a lot of them.
Let's take a couple of moments to show some love to some of the other groups. Our athletic director is also our head coach, Mr. Jeff Brickman, and his assistant is Adina Brooks. Sorry, and I was talking to Adina that we need to spend a little bit of time fussing over these other teams. So tonight, high school softball hosts Sulphur. So there's a high school softball game tonight here at Newcastle. They're hosting Sulphur. And here's what Coach Crosley said. I want to take just a moment, speaking of the softball program, what a program it is. Here's a quote from him. Newcastle Fast Pitch Softball graduated 7 starters from the 2024 team. There were lots of question marks, he says, entering into the season after losing so much experience. They had a great program last year, and they lost 7 starters out of 9 and entering this season. So the young team, only 2 of the 19 players are seniors, and they have had to grow up fast. He says the young squad, though, has won 13 of their last 14 games. Their current record is 21 wins and 6 losses so far this year. And he says we have earned the top spot, the top seed in regionals, and will host the 4-team regional next week here on Racer softball field.
Gene, our softball program is just legendary, and Cries just turns them out every year. He's just a machine at making those girls into wonderful athletes.
So we might be able to feature them somewhere, because one of these days they're going to come in here maybe with a big old medal and trophy, I should say.
They got plenty of them.
As Coach Crosley says, it's a fun group to watch that is growing up. They're growing up fast. So, all right, so they're playing tomorrow night. They host tonight they host Sulphur. Tonight also our middle school softball is playing at Guthrie. And also tonight our middle school volleyball is hosting Noble. So there's some activity going on tonight. So our athletic director is here with us now, but he's probably going to be traveling around some tonight. Friday, tomorrow night, of course, the Racer football team is going to be in Duncan playing. But also tomorrow during the day, the Racer Cross Country is hosting a meet here in Newcastle. So that's going to draw a lot of kids in here for cross country tomorrow. And then Saturday, guess what's happening Saturday? Our high school cheer is competing for state.
Once again, Gene. Once again.
In Tulsa, at Tulsa Union. And also Saturday, the high school softball team will be playing at El Reno. So here we are talking about football. We love the sport of football. We've followed it for many years, but we also enjoy a lot of successful programs here at Newcastle. And during a meeting, Dr. Kathy Walker gave a presentation to the chamber this past week and State of the School address, and she mentioned how many of our teams reached a state competition last year and on the way again this year. So tip of the hat to the other programs who are participating in this fall, okay?
Gene, we're first fans, but we are so gifted with a lot of young talent at our school.
We are, and so let's talk a little bit about this game tonight.
Got Duncan tomorrow night.
Yeah, but I want to talk a little bit about that game Friday night. Okay,
a little bit.
Let's turn the page. I got a few things here. It was a tough game. The Racers lose at 42-24.
Gene, I'll tell you this. I don't like to lose anything. Okay, but when you play your guts out, and our kids went and played their guts out, and you just look at it and you go, man, I think we're the best team in the state at 2-2, and we're looking down the window.
Yeah, it was a tough game. It was a well played game.
It was very good.
The boys played hard. I'll tell a little bit about the stats and the good and the bad and the ugly. But when you look at these, you see a lot of good.
Yes.
You see a lot of great things happening. They held us to 80 yards on the ground. That was a tough stat for us. We usually gain a lot more than that. We had 20 carries for rushing for 80 yards, but that included 2 touchdowns. TJ had 11 carries. TJ Bradford had 11 carries for 48 yards and 2 of those touchdowns. Those 2 touchdowns for rushing. Ben Rogers had 6 carries for 30. Did a little bit much better in the air. Passing, we were 13 of 19 passes for 199 yards and 1 passing touchdown.
Yeah.
That first half of the game, it kind of got away from us a little bit in the second half, but that first 3 quarters was very competitive. In fact, we were competitive the entire game, don't you think?
Gene, our kids, the first half were just phenomenal. There was a couple things that cost us there at the end, but we played a very, very good team, and we played very hard. We played our guts out. So anytime you play as hard as you can, and you have a few mistakes, you don't like those.
Right.
But man, when you play that hard, you're positive.
And it's going to put us in good position as we
Yes.
move forward. Passing, we were 13 of 19. Blake Creswell he was 11 of 17 for 172 yards.
Yes.
And 1 touchdown. And Caden Longman passed a couple of times. He was 2 for 2 for 27 yards. And then the reception, look at the receivers of those passes. Also, obviously, we're 13 of 19. Caden had 6 catches for 66 yards with a long of 31 yards. He had a 31-yard pass completion, and those are exciting plays. Centaurio Boykin had 2 catches for 55 yards, including a 45-yard touchdown catch and run.
All those kids are great players.
That was such a great Centaurio. The moves he made. pardon me, the moves he made to get open, and Blake Creswell just dropped it into him. It was a beautiful pass, a beautiful
He's such
kick.
a talented runner. He just runs the route smooth, and Blake threw that pass on there, what was it, 43 yards or something like that, Gene, and it was just a beautiful pass and a great route run.
Alex Schumard had 4 catches for 57 yards, including a long one of 23 yards, and Graham White had a catch for 21 yards. In the kicking mode, we'll talk to this gentleman in a little bit.
Wow.
There were 5 kickoffs. That was done by Mr. Madrano, and 3 of those were for touchbacks, and Keith Madrano has had 17 touchbacks for the year. That's just amazing.
I don't know if you know this or not, but I like that kid. He's talented.
I know you do. I know you do. And you want to be sure to get him in there, and we're glad to have him there. He also punted twice for 31 and 33 yards. Kickoff returns, Caden had 4 kickoff returns for 67 yards, and one of those was for 33 yards on the return. So he had a great game. Also had a couple of punt returns, 2 punt returns for 64 yards. So anyway, it's exciting. We liked it. We cheered a lot.
We did.
We were so glad to see that. And my headset is getting caught on my collar here. Let me take, pardon me for that. But also let's talk about the defense. There were 91 tackles in the game, and I don't know if that number means anything. I don't know if it should have been 80, 90, 60. I don't know what's normal, but the reason it caught my attention is it tells me the Owls didn't just go up and down the field on us.
There
were a lot of stops.
Anytime wherever the ball was, we had kids all around the ball all
we
night,
did.
all night, and that tells you those numbers are good.
And look at the individual number. Quinn Housley, number 85, had 14. He led the team with 14 tackles. Ashton Schumard, 13 tackles. Taylor T.J. Bradford had 12 tackles. Jaden Fletcher had 7 tackles. And these following Longman, Colton Bradley, Kieran Horton, and Cody Nix had 6 tackles each. So there was a lot of leather being laid in that game. Pancake blocks, the coaches count the number of pancake blocks. What's a pancake block? I believe when you just pancake someone, just put them down on the field.
And I was watching some video, and there was quite a bit of that. There was just down to the ground they went.
In fact, they count 34 pancake blocks. Garrett Pratt had 11. He led the group with 11. Jeffries had 8. Jason Dew had 8. Cody Nix had 6, and Blakey had 1. That's a lot of pancake blocks. So, and we missed a couple of starters. Preston Scagnetti and Blake Allen. We're anxious for those guys to get back and join the team as well, right?
They'll be coming back, and Gene, we can talk about that game, but we got a big game coming tomorrow night.
We do, and it's the first district game of the season.
Yeah.
We played 4 non-district games. We talked about this last week due to the scheduling for one of the teams in our conference, or in our district. So we're just now getting into district play. And do you realize tonight, this is Coach's show number 5 already. It's hard to believe. And after tomorrow night, we will have finished half of our regular season of games. So we're at Duncan. The Racers prevailed over the Duncan Demons last year. The Demons will be looking for revenge for that loss.
Yeah. Well, and I've said this many times. You know this. Growing up as a kid, they were a high school rivalry of mine. And so anytime we go to Duncan, I don't care if we play in volleyball. I want to beat them bad.
So you grew up in Chickasha. I grew up in a smaller town than that in Marlow.
Just right down the road, though.
Yep, and when we drove to Duncan, we went to Duncan. It was always like going to the big town.
It seemed like they just had everything.
They did. So it's a great town. It's a great little city. Not so little, but it's a great town, great city.
It's beautiful. Hey, Gene, you may know this. You know they still got a Taco Tico there.
Oh,
they still got a Taco Tico there.
I think I heard someone say they went all the way down there to get something at Taco Tico.
That might have been me.
That is a good point. They play ball at Halliburton Stadium.
They
Halliburton was a big part of the Duncan heritage, Duncan background and history and everything like that. They play at a great stadium down there just across the street from some nice park area. So people will enjoy the drive to Duncan. It's an easy drive. Say hello to my town of we'll say hello to Casey's town of Chickasha as you go through, and then my city of Marlow. So, Duncan's record isn't as strong. They didn't have a real strong record last year, and they're off to kind of a tough start. Like we are 2-2 ourselves. But records don't win games, and records don't lose games.
Well, Gene, they've won 2 games by 4 points.
So they're going to be looking for the racers coming into town. So anyway, we'll take a break here in just a moment. When we come back, we're going to be talking to one of our offensive coaches, one of our defensive coaches, and in a few moments we'll have Coach Tyler Engelking up. Just let me say thanks once again to the good folks here at Luigi's.
Absolutely.
Good food, good opportunity to dine on some great Italian food, and also for you and I to talk football.
Absolutely. And Gene, if you're going to Duncan, take that first exit at Chick-fil-A, and you can stop right there at Luigi's and get some on the way.
There's the Luigi's in Chick-fil-A. Very good. Right. We'll take a break. When we get back, we'll be here with Coach Tyler Engelking. You're watching The Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At CFD, our mission is to deliver quality dentistry by providing big practice benefits with a little practice feel. Since 2008, we've updated our look, technology, and have added new smiles to our tenured staff to better care for you right here at home. Convenience for you is one of our biggest goals, and we often provide same-day treatment to minimize your time off work. We are open Monday through Friday to serve you. Visit cfdok.com for details. We look forward to seeing you at our big little practice.
Welcome back. We're at Luigi's on the Oklahoma Sports Network. This is the Newcastle Racers Coaches Show. We're glad you're here. And we are now joined by Coach Tyler Engelking. He's the Assistant Offensive Coordinator. And welcome, Coach. We loved you last year. We're glad to have you back. We've got some questions that are going to tie back to some things you shared with us last year.
Thanks for having me.
But just tell us a little bit about yourself again. I think we just like to hear your background and a little bit about yourself and your role on the team. We'll get even more into that, but also other things you do for the school.
Yeah, this is my 13th year coaching. It'll be my 3rd year at Newcastle. Before that, I was at Chickasha and Westmore for a long time. I coached baseball last year. They hired somebody else over me. I wasn't that good.
How could
no,
that
I'm just kidding. They hired a really good baseball coach. He's a really good friend. So I'm now the head tennis coach.
Wow.
Yay.
Well, hey, congratulations on that. That's a big deal. Do you get a big crowd out there? Got a big crowd for the tennis?
I don't know. I haven't been to a game yet.
But he's got some great
Or a
players.
tournament.
He's got some great players.
Because we already know he's got Schumart on there.
Yeah, it's Ashton and Brody. I think they're really good players.
Yeah.
That's
Very
great.
good.
That's great.
So,
Well, I hope they ease off on the tennis court, though, from playing football.
we need to hike the intensity up in tennis now.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And
Coach,
do you teach classes as well, or?
Yeah, so before this year I taught English. That's all I've ever taught. And then I got moved into a new class. It's called Jobs for America's Graduates. And it's to help, It's to help these young kids that have barriers to overcome. Overcome those barriers, so they're with me their entire high school career in my class.
I love it.
Like we went on a field trip today with the seniors and the juniors to USA to a college and career fair to get them looking at different colleges. Every college in the state of Oklahoma was there, and so they got a bunch of information from them and just set goals for them after they graduate and move on to adulthood.
Okay.
I'll tell you, that's got to be a rewarding class to teach.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
I love the growth in that. I don't even know anything about that, but I like that just the way you're talking about it.
Yeah, it's a great class.
Yeah. Coach, a couple questions. What all is involved in this assistant offensive coordinator position that you've taken this year? Because me and Gene have had conversations about this. Obviously, you were the offensive coordinator last year. You got different roles this year. You talked to us about that at practice. But kind of tell us what's going on.
It probably doesn't involve much, does it?
No, it's just
See, I told you. Where do you begin?
I was going to say, well, Brickman's staring him down. He may not sure know what to say.
Well, really, nothing has changed.
Nothing's
It's
changed.
just I'm very involved in our game plan because for a long time I was a defensive coordinator, and so I know defenses. I see them a particular way. I'm really good at manipulating defenses. I would say that's kind of my strong suit.
Awesome.
And so being heavy in the game plan, Coach Brickman just basically nothing changed. I just got a new title,
Sure.
I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So.
Coach, I'll add this. I've been up there a few times and seen you guys around that. Kind of tell us how the audience that's watching and even the people that are here, but tell us how that works. What's the game plan look like for you to do that?
Like working with other coaches?
Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's a process in doing everything and, breaking down the opponent, see what they're good at, find their weaknesses. How can you manipulate them offensively through plays, blocking schemes, formations, stuff like that. I mean, every offensive staff does it, I think.
Is it a week-long process, or does it really begin early at a certain point?
Yeah, so I wake up every morning on Saturday, no matter what time we get home, at 7 a.m. I grade our film from the night before, try to take notes from that night or the Friday night before, and then I move on. It takes me like 10 or 12 hours on a Saturday to I mean, I'm pretty thorough, so
your wife's not getting a date on Saturday during football season?
No, my wife is a single mother during football season.
So that's pretty typical of football coaches.
Yeah. So I mean, it's time consuming, but I mean, in order for our kids to be successful, we have to do it.
Exactly.
So
Shift gears a little bit. Last year, you gave us a lot of insight into special teams. You were really focused on that.
Yep.
I know you made a few adjustments, but just remind us a little bit about. The role of special teams. And, I mean, we know how critical they are.
Yeah.
But you really had a lot of insight, even a lot of the stats about, fielding and everything like that. So
I mean, we've been really good on special teams this year. We've returned 5 kicks for touchdowns on kickoff.
That's an amazing stat.
Yeah.
Historically, we've not enjoyed that the last 10 years.
Yeah, last year we didn't return a kick until the second to last game, or maybe the last game. Was it Southeast that our first kickoff return for a touchdown?
Really?
Yep.
And now 5 already.
Yeah, 5 this year. We're really solid at punt. I mean, we're not the opponents aren't getting a lot of return yards on punt. Our kickoff team has been amazing. They fly down there. They're very physical. Brian does a great job of kicking in the end zone.
No kidding.
Yeah, it takes a lot of stress off of a defensive staff
sure
whenever you could kick the ball into the end zone, because now they're getting on the 20-yard line instead of the 30, 35, 40, and even close to the 50-yard line.
Coach, one game he was so effective that one of his last kicks, the returner started walking forward, assuming it was going over.
Yep,
I wasn't going to pick on Blanchard, but it was Blanchard.
Yeah.
And the returner had to turn back around and get after it.
Yeah.
And so that says a lot about expectations.
Yeah. I mean, it is really like the average high school offensive drive of a touchdown is around 55 yards, 55, 60 yards. So if you can get the football on kickoff outside of that, then the likelihood of them scoring, the percentage goes down drastically.
And we're going to have him on here in a little bit. When you have that kind of special team kickoff, it's such a huge advantage to just the game, the way it flows.
Yeah, because it takes a lot of people like us. we put our best our best players are returners.
Sure.
You don't have to worry about that now because
Right.
you just nullify them getting the balls in their hands by just kicking it out of the end zone. So.
And I'm sure this is common, but our norm. But I just see some of the members of the special teams are not out there starting on offense or defense. They are special team guys. It gets even more of our kids involved in that part of the game. And man, they are out there to hit and to run down, aren't they?
Yeah, a great thing about Newcastle. About Newcastle. Everything's great about Newcastle. A great thing getting those young guys, it really helps build a program because now they're not getting like mop-up duty reps when you're up by a lot. They're getting in-game real reps that matter on a Friday night, and now they feel the intensity, they feel the pressure, and they're ready to go whenever it's time for them to slide into a defensive or offensive position.
Good.
Coach, I was thinking of this. I was going to say this earlier. I remember as a high school kid, and it was my sophomore year, and I got to play on special teams, and my coach said a word to me, and I never forgot this. He said, it's a part where you learn to become the culture.
Yes.
Okay. And so I wanted to play special teams at that point because he said that's where you become part of the culture. Well, that's all you wanted, to be a part of the culture.
And our special teams, our huddle, the way we break it out is change the game, and like that's what they want to do. They fly down there, and whatever it is, they do it full speed, 100% effort, trying to change the game. So,
Coach, I've always loved football. Question, and I know this, but for the audience, once again, whether here online, you prefer to be on the sideline, or you prefer to be upstairs?
Yeah, I'm a sideline person. I'm a very intense, very energetic, energy person. That's how I am. And you can't get that anywhere else except on the sideline.
So you prefer that, and you stay on the sideline, or
I am on the sideline, and I definitely prefer that.
Sometimes even the guys up on top would like to be down there, but they have to have the view. But so you're down there, greeting the guys when they come off the field.
Yep, I've only been in the press box 2 times in my career. It was last year against Blanchard and Elgin. And we didn't win either one of those games, so they kicked me out. So you're not going back up there.
Coach, I remember, and I wrote this down. Me and Gene was talking about this. I remember when you first came here and I met you upstairs, and we were talking about, and you found out where I was from, and you coached there a year. So I just remember talking to you about that. And I wrote this down here. I just remember walking away going, that's a classy guy that my home school let go.
Yeah.
Okay? And then I thought to myself,
to our benefit.
Well, he's at my home school because really I've just adopted this as my home school. My kids went to school here.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
But I do have this, and I know you said you get up at 7 in the morning, but during the season, okay, what's a normal day look like? You're getting up at 7 in the morning, you're teaching, you're watching film, you're practicing. How many hours a week are you putting in for a guy that's just watching this that doesn't know?
Probably around 80 hours a week during football season.
Yeah, most people that are outside football don't understand that, but it's nonstop.
Yep.
Yep.
What was I going to ask you? So you're focused on offense. You know how to manipulate defenses. What will fans see with the Duncan defense? What will we? Are they real typical the way they line up, or anything unique? What should fans expect?
Well, the unexpected, I guess, would be that because they've ran a couple different fronts this year. They're a multiple defense, so they can get into anything they really want to. They play hard. They play really hard. They're physical up front, very athletic. Their secondary, they can run a little bit. So, we're going to have to execute to score on them. So
they played hard last year.
Yep.
The score was in our favor, easily, but their quarterback, good quarterback,
good player, yes.
Their defense, I expect a good game.
Yeah, he plays defense too. He plays corner.
That's right.
He can fly.
Yep.
So.
Coach, you said you've coached for 17 years. Is that right?
13.
13 years, okay.
Almost 17.
17, so it might be 17 by the end of the year. That's what I feel like. You think you're an old style coach? You like to run the ball a lot, or you like to throw it, or you kind of like a balanced offense?
I know this is crazy. I am the quarterback's coach. But in order to win the football game, you have to be the most physical team. And in order to do that, you have to run the football. You have to establish the run. You can't just let the defensive line pin back their ears and tee off on your quarterback.
Absolutely.
Because you're not going to win like that. You have to run the football. Yeah. And, I mean,
any good coach that I've ever heard talk about that, they love to throw the ball, but you have to establish the run. And I always say I'd prefer to run the ball, but I love a balanced offense.
Yeah, I mean, a balanced offense makes it hard, but what is the most demoralizing thing to a defense is when you're getting 7 yards of carry and they can't do anything about it.
Right.
And our offensive line just takes over and just, pancake and pancake and pancake. Yep. It will frustrate the other line, and you will make people quit if you can do that. And I'm a competitor, so when I see people quit, I'm like, got them.
Well, Coach, I'm reminded why we enjoy you so much. You have a lot of insight to it. I really love hearing some of the stats you've given us over the last couple of years, including like how valuable, going back to special teams now, how critical it is to field that ball when it's coming, to field it, to catch it, and don't let it bounce around. But I just love things like that. Any messages for the fan? What's your message for the fans going, facing tomorrow night?
I would just say, make the trip down there. It's going to be worth it. See these kids. They practice hard. They play hard. They're pumped up about it. It's our first district game. Yeah. And be loud. The loudest game last year was a road game for us. It was Lawton Mac.
Lawton Mac.
It was real loud, and that's what I want. Get behind the kids and yell and scream for them because they're playing their butts off for that end.
And folks, it's an easy drive to Duncan.
It is.
Yeah.
I-44 to Chickasha and 81 South. It's a great drive. A beautiful southwest Oklahoma landscape, and then getting into Duncan, Halliburton Stadium.
They have a really nice stadium.
Right there on Highway 81. Just take Pine Street, exit there at a traffic light. And so it's an easy drive. I'd say probably easy an hour, 20 minutes, but I think probably an hour and 5 or 10 minutes on your way down there.
Easy.
So we need to show up and support the racers.
Yep. Coach, it's always great having you here, and I've been a fan of yours since you got here, and
thank you.
I'm grateful that we have you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take a break. Thank you, Coach. When we get back, we'll be joined by Coach of the defense, linebackers coach Matt Truelove. We'll be right back. You're watching the Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Like there was a time when you'd have to put a hole there and 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 there. But this is just the same basic hole, and then you pick the direction you want to go.
Just having a 3-mile lateral, I think you're eliminating something like 60 wells that you'd have to put in.
That's a great leap forward.
You're able to tap the reservoir, and you have less of a footprint.
It never fails to blow me away.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Stuck inside for Wi-Fi? Not this summer. With Pioneer Fiber, get backyard Wi-Fi up to 950 feet from your home. So you can binge, game, Zoom, or work straight from your hammock. Add it for just $9.95 a month or get it free with a gig bundle. That's cheaper than your cold brew fix. Visit a Pioneer store or gopioneer.com and level up your summer.
Hey, we're back, and welcome everyone. We're back here at the Luigi's. We're on the Newcastle Coaches Show on Oklahoma Sports Network. And when we say Luigi's, what does that make you think of?
Look at that. Look at these breadsticks they give us. Gene, you come in here, they give you breadsticks, and I could eat a whole basket of those. They're wonderful.
All it takes is one bite, and I won't be able to say anything, so I'm holding off a little bit. And joining us now is Coach Matt Truelove. Coach, we say you're the linebacker coach, but you probably coach a lot of different things. Tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of some of your roles on the team.
Yeah, thanks for having me tonight.
Absolutely.
So I moved to linebackers this year. Last year I did wide receivers.
Yeah.
This is home to me. I'm a defensive guy, and I've coached linebackers more than I've coached any other position.
Oh, okay, good.
So it was good to come back home, and when Coach Brickman hired me last year, put me on offense, it was great. Loved it. Loved football in general, right? But when he said you get to go back to defense, I kind of did a fist bump. So.
We've all been in those in our jobs. We've all been in those assignments where you finally get back on the one like this is where I wanted to be anyway.
This is my sweet spot.
Isn't it fun?
It is.
It
is. And so thankful for that.
I'll bet last year helped you even more so to come back.
Absolutely.
To get that experience. Sorry
I've coached both sides of the ball throughout my career. And, my very first coach I worked for, he asked me what I wanted to do. And I said, well, I want to coach offense. And he said, okay, you go coach defense. And I never looked back, and I fell in love with it. And like I said, coach defense way more than offense, but I've coached both sides of the ball. But this is my sweet spot, and I love it.
Yeah.
And the beauty, we've heard Coach Brickman talk about how well staffed he is compared to previous years. So we have some coaching, coaches assigned to every key spot on the team. So that is great.
Absolutely.
Maybe one day he may even need more, but it's good to have all of y'all in place there.
Absolutely.
We have a great coaching staff, talented staff. A couple of questions here. I asked Coach earlier about this is for a defensive coach, I know the answer to this. You prefer to be in the booth, you prefer to be down on the field?
I'm a field guy.
And
that's
where the intensity is.
It is, and as a defensive guy, you like the feel of the game.
Sure.
And offensive guys, they like to be cerebral.
Right.
And they like to think, and they like the peace and quiet.
Right.
And defense is all about emotion and playing with emotion, and you coach with emotion. It's just completely different. Right. And this year, I'm in the box. Coach Bradshaw is on the field. We tried it the other way, and he needed to be on the field. It's important for the coordinators to be on the field.
Sure.
And so he sent me up.
But you are up?
I am up.
So you're tolerating it?
I'm a little loud, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And it's good. We work well together, and we communicate back and forth, and I'm able to see some things and help those guys out on the field.
Here's what I love about linebackers. You think I'd know the game really well, but my friend Billy Collier and Josh Calloway, they do such a great job calling the game. And sometimes I try to fill in for them, and they expect me to be able to make all these observations. I grew up thinking there were like 3 down linemen and the rest were all linebackers.
Yeah.
So they were all linebackers to me. Well, they weren't, but I know the difference, but Bull went with all the corners and the linebackers and the safeties who play up and everything like that. It becomes fuzzy to me, but we basically line up in a 4-2 generally, right?
Yes.
So I bet I'm stealing one of your questions,
but
but
go right ahead.
Because he and I were asking about for Newcastle, is either of those two like the Mike? Is he the Mike linebacker, or do they go strong weak? How typically?
So our defense, the way it's structured, yes, they are strong and weak, but our front is detached from our secondary.
Okay.
So we want to call the strength a certain way, and we don't care what the guys behind us do.
Okay.
And so the free safety lines them up.
Right.
And so Tucker Brown, a senior linebacker, could be playing next to Taylor Bradford as a weak safety. The next play, he could be lined up next to Ben Rogers, who's a strong safety.
Okay, based on
how many receivers are out there versus a tight end. Sometimes we end up calling the same strength, if that makes sense. But that's just how our defense is structured, and every defense is a little bit different.
Right.
But we are strong and weak players if that makes sense.
Yeah, according to offensive lineup.
Yeah. Coach, I grew up in Chick-fil-A, and so anytime I've said this many times, go to Duncan and beat Duncan, that's fantastic because they were rivalry hours back then. And we played 5A back then, but just curious, the ball, the game keeps changing. What does a linebacker in a 5A look like totally different from a 4A, a 3A difference? So, we just went to 5A last year. Is there a lot of difference in the linebacker size or the speed or the strength or in a 5A or even the smaller kids? Sure.
At this higher level of football, you just see a speed difference. That's the biggest thing. The athleticism. Obviously, we had the prototypical, I guess you could say, ideal linebacker last year in Jackson Daniel. When you're 6'5", 230 pounds and can run super fast, right? Everybody wishes they had that.
Who was stolen from the offense for quarterback? I mean,
yeah, absolutely. He was a defensive first player, right? No, we want them long, we want them athletic, we want them powerful.
Right.
And so, ideally, you'd love to have a 6'3" guy who's 215, 220 pounds that can run and super strong. And you play with what you got, and everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. And we play with some undersized guys that are really quick and use their athleticism to get around the lineman, opposed to being super strong. And then we have guys like Preston Scagnetti who can do a little bit of both.
Right.
So,
I don't think I had this as one of my questions, but I think about it a lot. Over the years, we've heard we've used the term. We hear people refer to the skilled players.
Yeah.
The skilled players come out on the field, and then the big old linemen come on the field. In today's world, they're all skilled, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we've talked over the last few weeks about the critical role of the linemen and the linebackers, and I mean, they better be skilled. So probably we're referring to the ones who typically have their hands on the ball.
Sure.
But in today's world, in 5A ball, you better have skill at all these positions, right? So tell the linebacker, they very often are, they are an integral part of the entire defense, right?
Absolutely. And my very first meeting with these guys in the spring, I gave them a handbook, and it was about being an alpha and being in charge. I view those linebackers as the leaders of the defense. It starts and ends with them, and they have a unique responsibility because they have to be great run defenders and they have to be great pass defenders. They're involved in both levels. And, the secondary, they're pass-first players. Defensive line, they're run-first players.
Okay.
And sure, the linebackers are run-first players, but you have to be great at both.
So do they call a play? Do they call a defensive play?
Sure.
Or you send a lot of those in from the sideline anyway, right?
Sure. Coach Bradshaw gives a play, right? Our Mike linebacker, our strong side inside linebacker, is responsible for lining us up.
Oh, okay.
That is his number one job.
Right.
And so, like that first game we had against Bartlesville, they went really fast. We told him not even to look at the sideline.
Oh,
get us
make
lined
your call.
up. Yes.
Good.
And that's a rule of our defense. We got to get lined up and playing with your feet set so you're not running around with your head cut off.
Yep.
And then our will linebacker, his job is to make sure the call gets to everybody.
Coach, on to Duncan, a couple questions for them. So I was reading, watching a little bit of what film I could find. What do you anticipate from their quarterback? Is he a balanced guy? Does he like to run, like to pass? What do you see on that?
He's a great athlete.
He is.
Good. He's fast, can throw the ball well. I think he qualified for 5A state 100-meter dat. He's fast.
Yeah.
He's fast. Yeah. And so he can throw it. He can run it. And I think he's gotten better from last year, to be honest with you.
Because he showed us a lot last year.
He did.
He's a fine athlete.
Yes. Yeah. And so we have to do a good job of keeping him in the pocket and not letting him run around and make crazy plays with his feet and get outside the pocket and then make throws. We want to keep him in the pocket and make him play from there.
He had a very good week last week, and he was pretty balanced. He likes to run the ball, but he also likes to throw, and he's a talented kid. So on that, you think they're a 50-50 pass run, or do you think they're heavy run?
I think they've morphed this year. I think they've changed. They have a great identity. Their coaches are doing a good job with them. They're actually heavier run this year, and a lot of quarterback designed run. their two best players, their quarterback and their running back, are back there.
And he runs a lot.
Yes. And so, they're heavier run this year, which is a little bit different for them. But we're going to shut down the quarterback and make someone else beat us, right?
I love that.
I don't think I've ever seen a game at Duncan. Marlowe's such a smaller school, but Keith played there from time to time.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to picture if it will be a rowdy, a loud,
It's a neat venue. It's a neat venue.
Okay.
It's an old venue, but it's beautiful.
And down around Marlowe, Duncan, Chickasha, that's what you do on Friday night.
That's right. It'll be packed.
So I think the noise and the crowd will have an impact on both teams. So we need to be sure we answer the bell, right?
Absolutely. They're going to be like our town, where they shut down on Friday night and they come and make it loud, and we need to take the noise out of the stadium real quick.
All right.
Coach, I don't know if Duncan or Newcastle's ever played in Duncan. I know Gene said this a little bit, but it'll be loud there. It'll be packed. It's Duncan's far enough away that hey, that's what they do on Friday night there, and so the town won't shut down, but everybody will be there, and so I anticipate the crowd being loud, and so will you guys prepare for that a little bit during the year? The crowds being a little louder at places or other places, or is that just part of the game?
We always practice with a little chaos.
Okay.
Coach Brickman likes to turn on the music. The boys don't always like the music, but there's music going. We practice fast. We fly around, and that helps them prepare for kind of coaching phrase, the bombs and rockets going off, the chaos of the game, the highs and the lows. It makes them communicate. It makes them talk to each other when music's going. The coaches are blowing whistles, all the different things.
Communication.
Trying to create. You and I exchanged a couple of chats during the week. This isn't about OSU and about Gundy so much my question, but we were talking about Coach Gundy leaving the program, and you made a couple of you posted a comment about, the gentleman deserves a lot of credit.
Sure.
What a great body of work. Well, what caught me on that, and I don't follow OSU. I'm more of a red team, but
Not me.
But I think a lot of now I've got a friend who says you're lying if you can root for one, you say you root for the other one. But I do. I mean, what a great program he has had, great things that he's done. And so you commented like, let's don't sit around and fret over things. Let's recognize the gentleman for what he did.
Absolutely.
Build the statue, whatever you said he did. What I liked about that is that whether it's high school, college, or at any level, these coaches develop and deliver such a body of work, and to acknowledge that. What's your comments on that?
First of all, there's kind of an old adage in coaching. Those have been fired and those who have not yet been fired. And so it's a business, especially at that level. And so you can debate whether it needed to happen or not. I hate that it happened the way it did.
Me too.
And you got to give him his roses.
Yeah.
He deserves all the credit for what he's done. I grew up in the 90s and know where Oklahoma State football was. And to pour out what he did into that sport, that university, that program, for as long as he did in the one place. You don't see that. You don't see it at the high school level. You don't see it at the college level, to be in one place that long. And
a lot of wins.
And a lot of wins.
Coach, he'll have a statue in Stillwater. I promise you that.
I got on ChatGPT and said, hey, I want to see what a Coach Gundy's statue looks like in front of Boone Pickens Stadium.
He'll have one. I promise you that.
Good.
He didn't leave like we all wanted it, but he'll have one.
Coach, it's a pleasure having you. Thank you for taking time to visit with us
Absolutely.
tonight. We'll be down there, Lord willing. We'll be down there with you and making a lot of noise. And
let's go beat the demons.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So,
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you for joining. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got the MVP of the week, Mr. Taylor Bradford. We'll take a break now, and we'll be right back.
You can look look up at our screen right here, that's our lifeblood. That's how we know what's going on at 14,700 foot.
Because you're completely blind otherwise.
That's correct.
People don't really understand the level of tech that's going on.
Yes, sir. This whole thing is extremely high tech. I mean, just the ability to be able to drill down 13,000 feet and then put 90-degree turn in the well and then drill out another 3 miles.
It doesn't matter how casually you say it. It's a freaking miracle, man.
Yes, sir.
And we are back. You're watching the Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We're here at Luigi's, and we have with us the MVP, the most valuable player, Mr. Taylor Bradford. But TJ, just before we get to you, may I just take just a couple moments to recognize some of the other guys on your team who've gotten recognized by their coaches, by your coaches. So in addition to the MVP, the coaches named the Offensive Player of the Game, and the Player of the Game for offense last week is Jace Ledoux.
Big man.
Also, Defensive Player of the Game, Mr. Kieran Horton, number 25, has been getting in there.
Yes.
Had a good game on defense. Special Teams Player of the Game, Brian Madrano.
Wow.
Go figure.
I like that kid.
And the Scout Player of the Week, Chasen Burnside, number 42. Glad to see him getting some recognition for the hard work on Scout team. And Hammer Award went to Mr. Caden Longman.
Yes.
And we saw some of those Hammer effects during the game. And most knockdowns, Mr. Garrett Pratt. So for the most knockdowns for the game. And the MVP, Mr. Taylor T.J. Bradford. So, Taylor, welcome to the show.
Hello,
So
glad
I usually say, tell us a little bit about yourself. I'll still do that, but we get to see you a lot. So, maybe remind us how long you've been at Newcastle.
Well, I've been at Newcastle since I've been in 5th grade.
All right, good.
So it's been a really long time.
All right, good. You think you'll stay?
Yeah,
we're
yeah, I think I'll stay.
Good for another couple of semesters.
Yes, sir.
Very good, man. We're proud to have you. And so my first question is one. I bet you've been asked before, but what motivates you? What motivates you to be the player that you are?
My dad really motivates me to be the player that I am. You know, watching him, seeing what he has done whenever he was in high school, and then on to play in the second level, which is college. You know, has motivated me to, believe that I could do the same thing that he did.
Wow.
So that's what really motivates me to, keep playing.
And without saying it, I know your whole family are part of the motivation power. Having a little brother coming up like he is probably would motivate me to. It motivate me to kind of keep going because he's coming up in your footsteps as well. And so we know your mom and dad are big supporters. Your dad is a coach, so you just refer to that. So my question is, does your mom do any coaching too?
Of course she does a lot of coaching. She, goes over the film kind of like how my brother does. And it's like, yeah, you should have stayed on your feet there. I don't know why you're tumbling. Run through that guy, all other stuff. So.
Hey, TJ, the great thing about you coming on multiple times means that you're just a stud in the game. And so don't let this be boring to you. We would like to have you here every week. That means that you're playing a heck of a game every week. As a leader of the team, what are some of the things that you need to do better to take this team one more game further than we were last year to the state title?
Another thing we need to do, we really need to bring up our energy. In practice it's been really low, very lethargic. That's one thing we need to work on. Another thing, too, is honestly, the fundamentals of the game, which is, form tackling, wrapping up,
basics
knowing what to do, getting lined up, the basics.
You hear that over and over. The football is a basic game. Just do the basic things very well.
Right.
Right. Do you think you could kick the ball as good as Madrano does?
Oh, no, I don't think I
No.
got it like that.
I'll
Come
answer that for
Nah,
him. He's
I don't know if
talented.
I got it
He's
like him.
Yeah.
You should get out there and do a
Yeah.
kicking contest.
Yeah,
But no, don't do that.
that's great.
We probably need you in good shape. So, well, what other questions do we have for this MVP?
Well, we could go on and on, but I'll ask one more question here. TJ, as an MVP, and you've already been here once, maybe once this year for sure, maybe twice. I don't know how many times you've been here this year.
Captain is here as a captain.
So he's
You're
been here twice.
MVP.
This is his third time.
Third time.
You get any special perks from the coach for doing that?
No, sir.
No?
All players are treated with the same amount of respect.
Yeah,
you know?
same thing. Brickman doesn't give you a day off, or he didn't.
No,
he
sir.
No, he didn't.
So
tell you.
say, hey, you've been MVP. Why don't you just take it easy during practice this week? You don't do that?
No, sir.
TJ, I want to ask you this, and I want to say this. We know your dad was a great runner, but you see those holes. Is it natural, or is that something you work on to see those holes? Because you see the holes very well.
Yes, sir. You know, it's something that you could always get better at, but it's just knowing, where your blocks are set up and where to go, what cutback lane to look for, and where to look for it at what time, and patience, and if you need to be patient there, or if you need to just go.
Talented young man you are, sir.
Yes,
Man,
sir.
we sure value you.
Yes,
We're glad
sir.
you're here. We think the world of you and your family. We're going to let you go here and take another break and come back in with Madrano, and we may challenge him to see if he can run the ball as well as you can run it. So we'll take a break. Thank you so much for being here. We're
Absolutely.
so proud of TJ and his family.
Sir, thank you for
We'll take
having me.
another break. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Newcastle premier kicker, Mr. Brian Madrano. We'll take a few moments to discuss. I'm going to ask him what his keys to the game might be coming up as well. You're
Awesome.
watching the Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Stuck inside for Wi-Fi? Not this summer. With Pioneer Fiber, get backyard Wi-Fi up to 950 feet from your home. So you can binge, game, Zoom, or work straight from your hammock. Add it for just $9.95 a month or get it free with a gig bundle. That's cheaper than your cold brew fix. Visit a Pioneer store or gopioneer.com and level up your summer.
And welcome back. We're here at Luigi's in Newcastle. We're up here in the Tri-City area, 117 Northwest 32nd Street. If you don't recognize that address, so we're just across the street from kind of like from Brahms over there on the north side of 37, just a little bit east of Walgreens. What a great place to come to dine, to eat, and to visit, especially on Thursday nights. We're here every Thursday night at 6:30, and we're glad you're joining us. And come and join us in person as well. We've got a good crowd tonight. They've been yakking it up there and eating a lot of food. And we're with our final guest, our featured guest. We're calling this the last one, our featured guest for the last segment of the show is our place kicker, our punter, BMOC. BMOC, is that what we used to call it? BMOC. You know what that term means?
No, sir.
Big man on campus. Yeah, BMOC. You're a big man on campus, and you're a big man on our schedule. Brian, welcome. Tell us about yourself. How long have you been at Newcastle?
So I came to Newcastle last year.
Yeah.
I came from Mustang, just hoping I could play on the football team.
Yeah.
Looking for a new opportunity to come out and play for the Racers. So
yeah, good,
so.
Good.
Hey, Brian, me and Gene spent a lot of time together, and I don't have to tell him this. He knows that I'm a huge fan of you, okay? And for a big guy to be so excited about a kicker, that'll tell you how talented you are, young man.
Sir,
and so
thank you.
I brag on you a lot. And I even told Gene, I said, we got to get this kid on, okay? I just like him. I'm just a fan of yours. And so but you know what I really like about you is you're just a humble kid, and I really am attracted to that.
Thank you, sir.
But I'll tell you this also. You just keep kicking out of the back of the end zone so they have no chance to run back, rather, and that is a huge asset to us. And so Question for you. I know that's all extra there. And that's the fan getting involved there. You like soccer, you like football better?
Okay. So
remember, your coach is sitting right over there, so you word that correctly, okay?
Okay, so I've been playing soccer since I was 3 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
So soccer's your number one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your experience anyway, like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
That's good. But you like football too, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say I like football better.
Yeah.
The environment's it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just
You know,
so exciting.
We live in this world where, everybody's getting something in college sports or whatever else. Did you make some deal to play football for Brickman or something, or was there you come in just to play football for him, or he coerced you to come on the football
He tells
team?
a story about you.
Yeah.
So initially we moved to Newcastle.
Uh-huh.
I was still going to Mustang for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And I decided to give Newcastle a chance. I came here. I think my mom texted Coach Wilson first, and Coach Wilson texted back. Showed up on the first day of Summer Pride. I didn't know what I was doing. I jumped the fence to get in Summer Pride while everyone has already won.
I jumped the fence to get to watch practice, so I know that.
Yeah, and I got to know all the guys on the football team, and everyone was pretty cool. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
Was it an easy transition from soccer to football, or that's a completely different ball to kick, obviously, but
yeah, it had struggles, but I thought it was pretty easy.
Yeah,
I just knew I had to kick the ball as hard as I could. So I could get in the back of the end zone.
Kick it as hard as I can.
Hey, Brian, what's your longest field goal that you've ever kicked?
So in game, my longest field goal is 47 yards.
47
yards.
Yes.
Bartlesville game?
Bartlesville, yes,
Very
sir.
good.
Yep.
We love that one.
Yeah, we did.
Momentum changer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask, so probably through soccer or anything, do you have a childhood hero, a sports hero that comes to your mind, or several, or what?
Okay, yes. I have so my soccer childhood hero is Messi. A lot of people know him.
Yeah.
But my football is definitely Baker Mayfield. I grew up watching him.
Really?
Quarterback at OU.
So maybe that's why he's made a few hits after the kick, by the way.
Yeah, that's okay.
You laid some leather, and Baker kind of had that part, moxie in him, too.
Yeah.
Someone intercept a pass from him, they're going to pay for it.
Yes, sir.
Someone going to run back one of your kicks, they're going to pay for it, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Very good.
Brian, me and Gene are, first off, we're just huge racer fans, and so we just think a lot of you. We think a lot of all of our young men, but you're a talented young man, and we're grateful. And when you can kick 8 or 9 out of the back, and we just hope that tomorrow night you kick about 9 extra points.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What's the most points you've scored in a game?
I'd say against Blanchard, I believe.
About 8 or 9 points? Or?
Yeah. Yes, sir. And I had a field goal, that close-up field goal.
Oh, you had field goals, and then you had several PATs.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Very good.
Exciting, fun.
Yes, sir.
Gene, let's go to the
keys of the game.
Keys of the
I'm
game.
going to ask you one more thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to ask. Does your high school principal always, he's always talking about your kicking. That's what I was going to ask you.
That's right. Yeah, we've got that one.
Mr. Hall's always talking about me and those kickers, and I'm always challenging them and everything like that. So does he give you any special perks? I mean, can you just do anything you want to in the halls of high school because of your kicker?
I wish. I wish, but
but he's a fan, right?
We made a bet last year. It's if I make a tackle on kickoff or kick it to the uprights on a kickoff, he'll give me free lunch. And so against Blanchard, I had 2 tackles. So now Mr. Hull bought me Sonic yesterday, and Dr. Craig still owes me lunch. So I'm debating on what I should get.
Very good. Well, we'll wrap things up. I always, at the end of the show, I ask Keith, what are the keys of the game? But let me ask you first. What do you think are some of the keys to our success tomorrow night?
Okay, so tomorrow, I feel like if we come with a strong defense tomorrow, then we should be good. And special teams, we've been doing pretty good.
You have been really an opportunity to continue that and everything like that.
If we keep that roll on, we should be perfect.
Right. Keith, keys of the game for Duncan.
Well, I always say it. He's an intelligent young man, so I'm going to follow up with what he just said here. We got to play strong up front. Got to have good pass offense, and our quarterback has to have good play on our offense. We got to score a lot of points. They won 2 games by 4 points, so we don't want them close. We don't want them close in the game.
Yeah.
We got to contain their quarterback. He's very talented. He runs. and their other running back, they have two running backs, their quarterback and their running back, and they're both very talented. So contain those and play good, solid defense, and make sure that our kicker hits about 8 extra points.
That's right.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Brian, thank you. Listen, on behalf of Keith Cleghorn and producer Uriah Martinez and the Oklahoma Sports Network, I just want to thank everyone for tuning in, for watching us. It's been a great show tonight. I enjoy it.
Yes.
I'm spending more time looking around and looking at the people here enjoying themselves. I forget sometimes to speak to our folks right there on the camera, but we're glad you're here.
Absolutely.
We're glad you've been watching. Really a word of appreciation for Mr. Brian Madrano for joining us here.
Thank you.
For our MVP.
What a great young man.
TJ Bradford, for Coach Ingle King, for Coach True Love has been great, and for the great folks here at Luigi's taking good care of us. Such a great host. Join us every Thursday night. We'll be here at 6:30 next Thursday night. Our game is tomorrow night versus Duncan, and then we continue district play the following Friday night. We'll be back home against Midwest City.
Go beat the Demons.
And we will take them one at a time, but we've got some exciting games coming up ahead of us.
Absolutely.
You've been watching the Coaches Show on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. Good night.